Everything's good, thank you.
Welcome to what it's like nowadays.
What the heck?
Yeah.
What's going on with food? Yeah, come here.
I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. That should be your task with your later on. You can deal with that, okay?
This is better. I'm sorry. You know how I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never know. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna start with our first candidate speeches right now.
Okay.
So, Juanita is our first president candidate.
Okay. So, you good? Okay. Hello everyone, my name is Juanita Furanda, and today I am running for the president's positions for SCAD AIAS. So just an overview of the things I'd like to cover. First, I'd like to introduce myself to you so you guys can know me on a more personal level instead of just someone who is running for the presidential position. Then a little bit more about my experience, a little more about why I've chosen to do AIAS and why this is so important to me, and some future goals that I have for the organization. So first off, hello, this is me. I'm from Medellin, Colombia in South America, but I left when I was 7 years old. So that might be why some of you don't recognize my accent as Colombian or as anything else, because I don't really think I have the Colombian accent anymore. But then I moved to Seoul, South Korea, and then I moved to Doha, Qatar. So I've been moving kind of all over the world, and I think this is something that is very important and has allowed me to bond with a lot of different cultures and get to know a lot of different people. So I always like to mention this as something that is very significant to me. And so some of my experience lies in currently being the AIAS Vice President, where I have been able to organize and connect with not only the members, but also the board in order to make sure that everyone is interconnected and everyone knows what the events that are happening and everything is going smoothly. And I currently like to think of myself as the interface of SCAD AIAS. So I often coordinate stuff with the board and everything that is going on. And through this, I've also developed a lot of networking skills and a lot of social skills that have allowed me to stand in front of a lot of people and be able to make this presentation happen today. Another thing is that I'm currently the NOMA's treasurer, so I've dealt with a lot of the budgeting, a lot of the events, and I've often been able to talk to ICC, organize all of this stuff. So that is really important in developing my social skills as well. Additionally, I was a part of the Barbara Jewelry Student Design Competition, and through that, I was able to grow more of the skills in terms of being flexible and understanding, and also working in a team setting. So this is very important for the president position, I believe it to be. And last but not least, I was an intern for N7 at Qatar Museums last summer. And over there, I was able to network and grow my professional skills. And so this is something that I know will be useful if I were chosen to be the president. So, why AIAS? I'd like to introduce you to the napkin sketch competition, which literally for me started it all. If it weren't for this napkin sketch competition, I probably would have joined, which is kind of insane. But this allowed me to create an understanding that AIAS could be so much more than what it already was. And through joining, I was immediately welcomed by an amazing community and some amazing people. And so I have a lot to thank for the past boards who have allowed me to be here today. And so on top of that, I've gathered some professional experience like software workshops, networking workshops, and all of that sort of stuff that have allowed me to grow and be connected with the student community as well. And last but not least, with the people that I've gotten to know, these people have become great friends and also like family. So I'm very thankful for what AIAS has given me. So, future goals. As we transition onto fully on-ground things, as we have in the past year, you may know that this is one of our first elections that are happening in person, so it's really important to make that transition and also start connecting all of the years throughout SCAD so that freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors alike, and also grad students are interconnected and everyone is being able to bond. So for professional experiences, I'd like to bond more with AIAS Savannah and the Young Architects. So that way we will be able to interconnect all together and also create a more professional aspect of what the architecture department here at SCAD can give us. Aside from that, the educational aspect, I'd like to bring back more of the lecture series and interconnect with architects from around the world and be able to bring them with SCAD and also allow us to know more about the professors that we currently have. In terms of social, I'd also like to bring back the mentorship program, which I know has given a lot of students a great understanding of what it is like to work within the different grade levels at SCAD, so I think that is really important. And last but not least, global networking within the AIAS chapters, which will allow all of us to interconnect. So yeah, I think that is it. Thank you all so much. I don't know where it's going. But yeah, that is it, and I hope you all vote for me.
I guess
Would you like to be like, one video for each person and then
I'll
one?
do it the next time. We can move on to our next candidate, that is for vice president. So there is only one president candidate, so either you vote yes, no, or you just abstain from voting.
The most qualified candidate ever for that position, so I think we're covered.
So our vice president candidate is Zach. Zach, you do know.
Hello, my name is Zachary Brown and I'm running for vice president. Oh, there it is. Okay, so this is a little bit about me. I am like a jack of all trades. I wear all these different hats all the time. I used to be like in a small town in Ohio. I used to be like that's what the cowboy hat's for. And I actually worked on a horse farm for a little while and baling hay and stuff like that. And then I used to be in the military for 6 years, so I was actually a staff sergeant. And all these other hats are for my other hobbies and things that I like. So the fedora is supposed to be for my musical need to play guitar and stuff like that. And of course, I'm a plant dad, I have plants. I do a lot of like woodworking, and I do even construction stuff now for my job. So those are just some of the things that I've like worked in. And then playing guitar, hiking, traveling, reading, carpentry. I have a 3D printer and a laser cutter, and I'm really big into ink and charcoal artwork. So that's a little bit about me. So as for my qualifications, I guess just being in the military for 6 years and being like in a supervisory position in charge of people and helping them get tasks done and making sure that their tasks are completed and ready to do things, it's pretty important. This was actually my job. I would have been this guy. This very dramatic photo. That would have been me shaking that guy's hand, and that's the jet I worked on for 5 of the 6 years. One thing, paperwork is so important in the military. If there's any kind of paperwork involved with AIAS, I think I could probably figure it out. It's so intense. I don't know. But anyways, so I also am in ASHRAE as the events manager, as far as that's going. And then I also like to participate in as many of these SCAD events as I can. So I was at the Go Design thing recently, and I thought that was really cool. Pretty interesting, actually, being there for that. So for the position, I think these are like 3 things that I thought were important for the position. Was communication. Communication can pretty much boil down to pretty much anything. So I think that's pretty important, between just communication within the AIAS group, communication beyond that to like outside of SCAD, AIAS, and communication between us and the student body members and people who aren't members. And then the networking too is going to be pretty important, especially since AIAS is such a big network. And I'm more interested in learning how that works, because I don't don't know. That's the biggest thing that I want to learn about is this huge network that AIAS is a part of, and then progress in learning. So that's one thing that I feel like I focus on helping others more than I help myself, I feel like. So if I can find a way to get our information from AIAS to people who need it or to help them progress their careers, I would find that more fulfilling for me than just helping myself. If that makes any sense. And that's it. That's me.
Thank you, Zach. Once again, that is our only vice president candidate. So you either want him or you don't want him at all. Our next speech is going to be for the treasurer. That is Olivia.
Hello, my name's Olivia Esgary, and one thing on my mind right now is that I'm very, very excited for spring break because I will have lots of free time to make budgets for fun, which, yeah, for fun. I make budgets for fun. But that's not the only reason why I'm excited for spring break, obviously. But yeah, so I'm running for treasurer because I have a natural tendency to make budgets for fun, and I have the qualified math skills, and yeah. So I have been an active member of AIAS this year, and I have participated in the mentorship program, and I was also the development manager, or I am the development manager of Freedom by Design. And my past experience of leadership, other than being a member of the board of Freedom by Design, is a couple of years ago I ran a youth community service in my hometown, where I led 13 members to raise $8,000 in a year. We fulfilled our goal of building a library, or raising the funds to build a library in Kenya, in a village we were working with. So I was in charge of organizing bi-monthly fundraisers and meetings, and I also secured grants, so we were able to meet our budget or meet our goal of raising $8,000. So what I will bring to AIAS is my overall just my love for spreading positivity, because I feel like this group of people, it's been very impactful for me to, and just like inspiring to be able to like be part of like a greater group of students that are so dedicated to their future career and just bonding with one another. And also my time management and my dedication to not only my schoolwork, but also other things I'm involved in the community. And then of course my love for math, numbers, experience handling money, and my love for making budgets. So I hope I can inspire people through being part of AIAS, because it has been such an inspiring experience for me so far. So thank you.
I think that was our only candidate for the treasurer too. And it seems like our present treasurer was pretty impressed, so I don't think we should.
Yes.
But our next candidate is for the events chair, and the first candidate we have is Michelle.
Hi everyone, I'm Michelle. I'm from Venezuela. I'm currently a second-year student of architecture. I run from events chair because since I'm in high school, I worked 4 years in organizing small events and also in the fundraising events. I was the main leadership in high school. I was selected by my professors and peers over 4 years to create, to organize, and to get a lot of people to work with me, because I like to work I like to get a work team. I don't like to work alone. I like to work with a lot of members, because I think that working together as a group, we can get to our goal better than working alone. So yeah, I organize all the small events on fundraising events at school. I think I'll be getting a lot of knowledge here with all of you, and I can't wait to work with all together. 3 characteristics that describe me is that I'm very organized, I'm respectful, and I'm multitasking. I love to work on everything, and I always want to learn more and more. I think that's something that AIAS will help me, is to connect with another peers about architecture, so we can learn a lot together. And also I want to create small events to help freshmen and also sophomore, maybe juniors and seniors, so we can learn together. If someone doesn't know about anything, we can help we can help that person. So yeah, I just want to work with all of you to learn together about architecture. Thank you.
Our next candidate is Elizabeth Raymond.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and Sujin. I hope everybody's having a great day so far. I've been an AIS member since my freshman year and a passionate advocate, and I hope everyone here is also an AIS member, because it's a great organization to be part of. I'm excited to have the opportunity to serve you, and I would like to tell you guys a little bit about my background and previous positions that I've held. I've always enjoyed being part of community service and event planning. The past 7 years, I have been involved with 3 organizations in Ohio. All 3 of them, the money has gone to cancer research. They're called Pelotonia, Chow Chow to Cancer, and Breath of Hope. And within all of those organizations, I have been on the event planning team, where I have coordinated speakers, designed the events, planned them, organized. I made all the little goodie bags, any type of advertising, we made that successful. And I have the knowledge and experience of planning an event from 2 people all the way ranging to 4,000. And I am proud to say that within these organizations, I have helped raise $100 all the way up to $3 million to good causes. I find event planning and volunteering, it has made me become a better person and a better leader. And volunteering my time is something that I find really rewarding, as well as event planning, because it makes other people happy, and that's what's most important to me, other people's happiness. And this year I've also served as the small events director, and we have accomplished many different events, all the way from napkin sketches, lecture series, networking. We've had a book sale recently, and we have many more things and surprises for you guys to all see. And I've been working closely with the events chair, so I know what it takes to be the next person to run this position, and I know all of the tasks and all the emails and everything that we do bit by bit for each position. And I've also served another position for AIAS that's not really mentioned, but it's in hopes of a student architecture conference next year. So I've also defended SCAD nationally, so the fact that I can defend them nationally, I'm willing to defend each and every one of you. And if history has any indication, I've demonstrated my ability to deliver results, and rather than just making promises. And I can assure you that if you put your trust in me and elect me as your next events chair, your concerns will be my concerns, your interests will be my interests, and just come share your ideas with me and I'll make them happen, because I want to make sure all the small to medium to large events are equally distributed to each and every one of you. So thank you.
That was great. Thank you, Liz. And our last candidate for, sorry. I think we have one. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah. So the next position we have up is communications chair, and our first candidate is Deepa.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Deepa Patel. I am from Americus, Georgia. It's a really small town, so I don't expect anyone to have heard of it. But I am currently a junior, and I am serving as a social media manager right now. And so that is kind of like, of course, part of the communications team. But as communications chair, I would love to relay all the relevant information that we talk about, not just in AIAS, but also just like SCAD, and project that to everyone. All over the student body, especially like in a timely manner. What is really important as architect students is like we always have deadlines, we always have so much going on, and so being able to do that as communications chair is something I really want to focus on. And it's really important to communicate that to not just the student body, but also professors, faculty, professionals out there that a lot of us don't even know about, but are able to connect with through AIAS. And so I feel that I would be responsible enough to relay that information to exterior factors as an organization. I am also a very vocal person, and I feel like I am a pretty approachable person. So going beyond just the organization, if you ever want someone to talk to, no judgment, but I'm always here to talk to, but also just like AIS related, like especially like we just talked about with events, right? Events and communications go hand in hand. So being able to have that open communication is really, really important, and I feel like I would be able to keep that channel open no matter what, and just feel like you can always talk to me and being able to relay that information outwards. I am a very motivated individual, and I want to motivate other people to also stay involved and just feel comfortable enough to come to events. You know, like sometimes you hear about an event, but you're like, oh, I don't know if I really want to go to it, but just being able to kind of get that word out there in a comfortable manner is something I really want to focus on, and I feel like I would be able to do that on all platforms. So something I do right now, of course, is social media, right? And I personally love social media. I'm a very big advocate about social media on all platforms. I personally like posting and doing all that and hyping up other people's social media also. And so for AIAS, I also enjoy doing that, just taking pictures, showing what's happening. So I will frequently, of course, be doing that. Some other background about me, I'm also a local leader at my temple, and so I'm also working with people of different ages. That kind of goes back to just being able to relay information to not just like other juniors, but also freshmen, sophomores, seniors, grad students, you know, even professionals outside that are much older. So being able to get information out in a responsible manner is really important to me. Like I mentioned, I am very familiar with boosting social media platforms, and so I plan to boost our engagement, make next year even better than it has ever been, so that we can grow our organization. And I'm also very flexible with my time, which is something I mentioned with being approachable. So if there's anything ever you need or anything with communications, I'm always available, and I feel like I would be able to dedicate that time with AIS, and so I believe that I can communicate anything AIS related, architecture related, to not just student body, but also faculty and professionals out for the organization. Thank you.
Our next candidate is going to be Jennifer Jones.
Hi, I'm Jennifer. For those of you who don't know me, I'm from Texas, and I love sunsets. I think Shrek is the most beautiful franchise ever made. And so if any of you would like to talk to me about that, I would love to talk to you more. So I currently am the graphics director for the SCAD AIAS chapter since summer up until now, and then completing the term. Some things that I've learned from being a part of the board is the importance of time management and collaboration. Something I feel that I could be able to build off of after being on the board this year is how to dedicate my time specifically to what the communications chair role entails. For instance, working with Pepe, who is our current communications chair, I kind of learned behind the scenes of what it takes to not only put out social media content, but also strategies on how to better interact with people personally and how more or less to get information in a more clear and concise way. And so something I would love to do taking forward if I were elected is not only being able to post on our most famous platform, which is Instagram, but also reaching out to LinkedIn, which is a professional network we will be a part of for almost our entire lives. And how being more active on different platforms such as YouTube now, maybe even Twitter or Snapchat, would kind of create recognition for SCAD AIS, which no matter if you're a member right now or if you're not a member, when you see more things online, you kind of become more aware of them. It's something I've seen after being on ground, is that even if you weren't initially interested, kind of seeing all these things active, you're like, okay, like, what is this? And so that's something I kind of want to be in everyone's face about this next year, is like how great AIS has been, especially I think for me, as Olivia had mentioned, being a part of something like SCAD AIS has been so pivotal for me, where I feel as not only I come to school from like 8 to 8, like okay, whatever, I'm doing my studio, but I feel connected to something bigger than just my schoolwork and something that I'm paying tuition for. And so I feel being able to kind of get a little more intentional this next coming year with our students, with kind of creating wellness checks and things of that sort, or how we can be more humane with everyone. For instance, not only doing a post, but doing maybe videos, or doing maybe like little props in your studio, things that are from SCAD AIS, kind of more physical things as we're coming back from COVID, and like that was so weird for everyone. And so not only utilizing our digital platforms, but utilizing our physical platforms, I think is something I would like to push forward as communications, because it is not only what we post on the computer, it's how we communicate with each other as well. So yeah, I think after being graphics director and seeing that it is not only posting, but it's also managing your time, it's also collaborating with other people who like different things than you. For instance, I really love the color blue, and right now our winter color is blue, but also not everyone loves color blue. And also, so that's why we changed our colors this year throughout our Instagram to do pinks, blues, and yellows. So kind of just that conscious thought is something that I've always loved being able to do, is to implement other people's opinions. And so it's kind of something really important to me, and something I feel like I can implement further as communications chair, being able to decide kind of, it seems small, but color schemes, deciding whether like circles are a lot more comforting than like triangles and things of that such, so that way people feel as if SCAD AIS is more approachable, and it's not just like a big organization like AIA and really scary. Yeah. Thank you for your time.
And our last candidate for communications chair is Nick.
So, hello everyone. My name is Xinghao Zhou, and I go by Nick. So basically, I'm a senior right now. It's my 5th year at SCAD. I take, apart from architecture, I take motion media design, furniture design, and interior design as my minors. So basically, I'm a pretty diverse person. So I had a lot of experience which can qualify my position if I'm elected. So first of all, I was a curator and liaison director, but this position was dated back to 2016, 2017. So I was at the job of inter-school communication in Shanghai. So basically, my job was to curate student artworks, and I successfully organized over 7 small and mid-sized events or exhibitions. And I also ran the social media account, WeChat. That time, the Little Red Book wasn't so famous, wasn't so popular. So the stable reader was over 5,000 people. And I also have to work with a lot of different institutes, like schools and different student clubs, and a lot of commercial companies. Some are, stationery companies, and some are art supplies companies. And I also need to work with different local youth leagues, and to raise money for the operational expense. So my second experience was the event administrative assistant in a company called Eco Art Culture Communication. This company basically has a lot of classical concerts in Shanghai. So I took care of over 200 foreign musicians and orchestra staffs. So the biggest name was Paul Badura Skoda, and I helped in their itinerary, dining and living arrangement during their stay in Shanghai, and I also helped with ticketing, logistics, and a lot of general affairs for 19 major concerts. So basically, that I also take motion media design minor. So I'm good at both static graphics and motion graphics. And I work with Photoshop, illustrators, Premiere, After Effects. So basically, software is not a problem. And I also had a lot of experience in the business platforms of like Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, and I also know how to use the Microsoft 365 enterprise platform, which is basically our SCAD mail system is based on that. So yeah, I think AIAS for me is an opportunity for school leaderships, because basically I didn't take this job like in a college. So this is my first try. In this experience, I will need to learn how to communicate with people, and basically, and I know a lot of cutting edge information about the industry. So in the communication with those companies, institutes, that I can bring those cutting edge information back to our student community. And that's it. Thank you.
And we have our candidates for the secretary position. First one is Lucia.
Hey guys, good afternoon. I'm Lucia. I'm from Santa Cruz, Bolivia. I'm currently a sophomore, and today I'm running to be secretary. I joined the AIAS last fall, so I'm quite new in the organization. And to be honest, when I joined, I didn't know what I was going into. And once I started attending the meetings, the events, I realized that this organization was not only the perfect opportunity to have networking in the professional aspect as well as with my peers. I got to go to amazing workshops. I have a lot of extra learning opportunities gotten from this organization. But the best part was that it opened the doors to a wonderful community of architecture students, where I not only met people from my same years, and I have some really good peers now, but I also met people from upper levels, which today I can go and ask them for feedback or just suggestions, and it feels really nice and comforting to have this wonderful community between architecture students. The reason why I'm sharing this story is because that is why today I am applying to be part of the board. I want to contribute to having the same feeling of community as this organization has made me feel. I want to take part of it. I want to be an active member. And the reason why I think that I would be a really good secretary is because I am very efficient with time management. I am a fan of checklists and productivity. So I really like to structure plans and make things happen. So I think that I would really be a good complementation to work with the president and the vice president in meetings, to have all of the documents organized and to help communicating things among all of the team. I think that I'm qualified for this position because some of my previous experiences are in high school. I've been part of a lot of volunteer activities where I had to work with other people. I am really good with team working, collaboration, as well as keeping things on track. I have been working for a year now at the SCAD Museum of Art, in which there is also the teamwork environment. I get to talk to a lot of different people, so I'm good with networking skills and just understanding everyone overall. So if you guys give me the opportunity, I am more than happy to commit and dedicate my time to making this organization even better than it already is. Thank you.
And our next candidate for secretary is Zita.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Izine, but I go by Zena here at SCAD. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm a third-year architect student. Today I'm running for the secretary position. I was actually asked by a few members of AIAS to run for this position due to my organization skills and neat note-taking. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a punctual person. I take my work very seriously. I believe this stems from my note-taking. So some background about me, actually when I work in Charlotte, I will go around with small businesses and take their notes for them, help them out. Personally, if my mom has a small business, I have to organize some of her work for her. I also work at a grocery store, and they realize I'm really good with note-taking, so they ask me for my help in that area as well. And in high school, some of my professors, my teachers asked me to help them note-take and help students out in that area as well. I like to read the fine print. I read everything on a piece of paper and ask a lot of questions. I think this is important for the secretary position, considering the weekly meetings and having to write out what the main points of focus are. I'm a team player. I joined AIAS for this reason, to be around and involved with a group. I'm open for feedback and solving problems if given the opportunity for this position. Thank you.
So that was all of our candidates for next year's executive board. And then there's going to be more positions, so anybody who still wants to run, or after seeing this video, or after seeing everybody's speech,
You go there to be in the video.
just